Good morning everybody, שפע ברכה וצרה, שיעור לנשמתם של הקדושים והטהורים. פרשת שמיני, ויהי ביום השמיני, the 8th day. By the way, 8 is a very important number in our tradition. 7 is nature, 8 is above nature. It's like we have 6 days, then we have the 7th day, which is Shabbos, is me'en olam haba, it's like olam haba. But 8 is like over the top, it's already olam haba, or it's the connection with the infinity, because you take the 8 and you put it on, you lay it down, it's the infinity sign, and it's infinity, it's the connection with the Almighty that is everything, it's got no limits. And the 8th day, maybe we need it now with the situation we've got to connect ourselves back to God, and really it has to be above nature, because what we see here is impossible. This hatred which is all around us, and we have to really take it in our hands and try and do whatever we can, yes we can, to change the picture and start loving each other. You see, this hatred, and I'm talking really to everybody, it's unbelievable. If it's now talking against the Haredim that have to go to the army, and you know how many good things the Haredim do, and they also go to the army. And if we check the numbers of those who don't go to the army, we'll find out interesting numbers, that most of those who find a way not to go to the army are from the left. From the left, yes. But I'm not going to go here. I don't want to talk politics, because I think personally that everybody is involved. The Haredim that hate the others that hate the Haredim, the religion that hates those who are not religious, those who are not religious, and we have to understand something very important. You see, a few weeks ago I saw a woman that was complaining about not having anything in her son's school about tradition, the Jewish tradition. Have maybe one Torah lesson on parashat Shabbat, whatever it is, nothing. So what do you want? Why do you think they will understand the importance of the Torah if they don't even know what Torah is? And this is our main problem, to understand and connect ourselves back to God. We have 2 fires in our parasha. Unbelievable. 2 fires, and it's written almost the same, but there is a big difference. One is a good fire, and the other one, unfortunately, is a deadly fire, which we are unfortunately suffering from it also today. But it's in our power to change the burning in the, let's say, in the bad way, to burning in the good way. And let's see. What is happening here is when we go on parashat Shemini. So, 1 minute. Okay. So the first fire is ותצא אש מלפני השם, and fire got out from God, ותאכל על המזבח, and went on the altar and ate all the sacrifices, and the people saw, and they were all happy ending, because it was very interesting what happened before, because Aaron went in and did whatever he had to do, and the fire didn't come. So he was ashamed. He went to his brother and he told him, look, I did everything, and I'm the one to blame. He didn't look for others like we see today. Everybody's blaming each other. They are this, because of this it happened, because of that it happened, because of that it happened. Aaron, a Kohen, didn't look, and he was this pure guy, this unbelievable loving person that loves everybody, and he's doing peace between everybody. And he says, because of me the fire didn't come out. Don't you remember there was a golden calf and there were problems of the Am Yisrael, how they behave? Why do you think it's you? Maybe it's the others. But this is Aaron Cohen. He takes the blame on himself, not like we see today. And unfortunately, everybody's blaming each other. Nobody's taking the blame on himself. Aaron is a big lesson for us to learn. And Moshe Rabbeinu goes in, and they pray to God, and the fire comes down. Everybody is happy, Baruch Hashem, happy ending. But then, 2 minutes later, the sons of Aaron, Nadav Avihu, take and put fire, להקטיר קטורת, and come to God with a foreign fire. This is not a fire that God told them. Es zara asher lo tziva otam Hashem. God didn't say, "Vatetze esh," and again a fire comes out from heaven, from God, vatochal otam, and now it doesn't eat the sacrifices or the Torah, it eats them, and yamutu lifnei Hashem. And this is to show us, first of all, to understand that it doesn't matter at what level you are. Everybody can make mistakes. And even when he is approaching the holy thing, like he wants to get near to God, he can do mistakes. And the big lesson here is, this is the story, this mashal, the Maggid Midubna brings this mashal maybe to understand a little more. There was this town, they built that with all the best facilities. You know, like you have the today houses that everything, you say, turn the light on, turn the light off, turn the air condition, put the TV on, everything like they say, Bait Chacham, a clever house, or whatever you say it in English. And this town was, everything was built like this. Even the town itself. They didn't see any electricity on the streets, nothing. And everything green, and and even like you are walking like in air conditioner, they had this special air flow that goes, you don't see from where it comes, but the best schools, the best, everything the best. They want to open this, do this big ceremony for opening this new town, and suddenly they say, 1 minute, we are missing a doctor. We've got no doctor. We need a doctor. If somebody's going to be ill. They look and they find the best doctor in the world, and they bring him in, and everybody's happy, and they dancing, and they singing, and they eating. Oh, Baruch Hashem. And one of the people has got a little headache, so they said, "Oh, this is now, we do a test we see how good we have with this doctor." And they bring him to the doctor. The doctor takes him to a personal treatment in his own house. And 2 days later, an announcement, the guy died. Everybody said, what's going on here? The best doctor in the world? And somebody with a small headache, he killed him. Didn't cure him. Not enough, he didn't cure him. He killed him. The committee of the town called the doctor and says, what's going on here? We thought that you are the best doctor and something like this happens. So I explained to them, you see, I came here and I saw how happy everybody was. And I heard people talking, oh, now we don't have to be careful. No, we have this doctor. Whatever happens, we go to him. He's going to cure us. And you must understand, I cannot cure everything. There are some diseases that are the end. There's no cure. And if people will neglect the health and will eat whatever they want and do whatever they want and put themselves in a risk, I cannot save them. They have to understand that I am not a miracle maker. I can save. I've got the practice, I've got everything, but if people are not going to look on and check, and look from the self and be careful about their health, what do you think is going to happen? So I decided that I have to show them that they cannot rely on me only. They have to rely on themselves to keep the good ways and eat healthy and look up for their health and not go where they shouldn't go. And so I said, the first guy that is going to come is not going to survive. Says the Maggid Midubna, that's exactly what God did. When they saw the fire coming down from heaven, they thought, that's it. There's no problem anymore. Whenever we do something, we go to the temple, we go to the tabernacle, and we bring a sacrifice, and Baruch Hashem. It's like, it reminds me always a story. I knew a guy in business, a guy from Germany. He was an export manager. He was a religious Christian in his earlier life, and he told me once that his story says he used to be Christian, Catholic or whatever, and one day he decided, that's it, there's nothing in it. He says, why? What was it? He says, I come to the priest and saying a confession, what we say, and he says, well, okay, you say Ave Maria, whatever, and you give donate money, and everything is forgiven, and it's okay. But then one day I came to the priest and says, you know what, you can also give me in advance for the sins you're going to do next week. When I heard this, I understood this all again. Like, what do you mean? I didn't sin yet, and I've got already. You're giving me the forgiveness for what I didn't even do. Like, you're giving me permission to do whatever I want. And this is exactly what's happening here. He left his religion. This is exactly what's happening here. They thought, okay, now whatever is going to happen, we're going to pray, we're going to bring a sacrifice, and everything is going to be forgiven. Says God, no, 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 no. There is a reason that I brought you to this world. You have to look after yourself. You have to do the right thing. You have to go and keep the mitzvahs and go in the good way and love each other. And if you don't do this, the sacrifice is not going to help you. Sacrifices are there if you by mistake did something, or you were careful but not careful enough, or whatever. But intentionally to go against the rules, against God, it's no use. So what did God do? He showed them that it doesn't matter what level you are, even the level of the sons of Aaron, HaKohen, Nadav, Avihu, even that they wanted to come closer to God, there is a way, and the way is the law of the Torah. What God tells. If God doesn't say it, you don't do it. And when Am Yisrael saw it, Vayivku, then they understand and realized this point that we have to realize and understand. We have to understand God put us in this world for a purpose. And the purpose is, the main purpose is to love each other and to trust in God and go with God and believe in God. Emunah is the basic of everything. And talking about Emunah, I want to tell you a story. I think I told you it in the past. A friend of mine, Reb Herman, he years ago, his father is, I think, is buried in Manchester in the Jewish graveyard. I think so. I'm not remember if this is the right way, the right place. Anyway, he one year wanted to, for years he didn't go to visit his father's grave, and he wanted to do it on the yard side. He wanted to go there and to say Kaddish and or to say Tehillim, whatever. So he decided he's going to go with his daughter, and they went there. It was winter, cold, snowy, and the day came, and he came only for 2 days, so he had to head together at the same day. Rented a car, and they're driving there, and it's snowing, and it's cold, and the weather is really terrible. It's very hard to drive. They get to the place, sees the whole mountain where the graveyard was is covered with snow. Doesn't know if he even has the ability to drive up there to the graveyard. But then he sees a bus going up slowly. Says, if the bus can do it, I'll go follow him and I'll do it with him. And he does it. And he gets to the top of the mountain. And then he says, unfortunately, everything 1.5 meters covered with snow. You don't see the graves. Doesn't know what to say. Doesn't know what to do. So he phones his father, his rabbi. And his rabbi tells him, you did whatever you could do. You are there. You're in the graveyard. Okay, you don't see the grave, but put it in your mind that you are there and pray to God for the neshama of your father and say Tehillim. It's okay. Okay? No other option. He does it. And then they go back. But while he was there, the weather got even worse. And now the road was covered with ice. The snow froze and it was ice. And you know what is driving on ice? If you haven't got the right things on the wheels, it's not only dangerous, it's frightening and dangerous or whatever. So he has to go back. He goes his daughter in the car, and slowly, 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 he goes back. His daughter says nothing, sitting there. Poor Hashem got home. Got home, he's asking his daughter, that didn't say anything the whole way, says, were you not frightened? You know what his daughter said? Frightened? Why should I be frightened? I'm with my father. I trust you. I've got nothing to fear. Says David HaMelech, Kegamul aleimo. This is, he says, I feel like a baby in the arms of his mother. It doesn't matter where I am. It doesn't matter what happens around me. I am with my father. And that's what this girl said to her father. I'm with my father. I don't have to be afraid. I'm trusting you. I'm in your hands. This is the trust that we have. To have. This is what we need to have in trusting God. To get to this level, to understand, as much as we can, of course, to understand that God is with us everywhere. And it doesn't matter what happens around us. The thing is that everything eventually is to put us in the best place that we can. But God wants us to behave in the right way, to do the right things. It's like Am Israel. Why can't we eat what everybody else eats? The parashat tells us, this you're allowed to, this is not allowed. You know, we come abroad and sometimes I go to exhibition or go there, and I look at the guy and they eat whatever they want, and I have to eat kosher, and if there is nothing or so, why? Why can't I eat what everybody else eats? And really, sometimes we think about it and we puzzle. But the real truth is, if we think about it properly, look today, this world, people realize that there is what we call junk food. It's not healthy. It's poison. Some of the drinks and some of the food that we eat is poisonous, and it causes illnesses. And still people eat it. But those who are careful, they understand, I'm not allowed to eat this. Somebody who is diabetic, he knows he's not allowed to eat things with sugar, so he doesn't eat them. And, for example, there is somebody who was raised up in a, let's say, Feinschmecker's home, and he enjoys a duck with ananas and whatever. You take this guy, which is used to very high level food, take him to a workers' restaurants, po'alim, edet po'alim, what we call, and let him eat a schnitzel that was fried in oil that is there maybe the whole week. He is going to vomit everything and going to have a stomach ache, and he's going, well, who knows what's going on. He's not going to survive it. Why? You see the other guy on the other side, the worker, is eating and enjoying every bite from the schnitzel. He's used to it. He is not at the same level of this guy. Like a king eats what the common guy eats. He eats special food. He's got special cooks. We are princes. We are the children of the King of all kings. And he gave us special food to eat. He says, you don't eat this. This is junk food for you. It's going to cause you illnesses. You eat fine food. You eat the best food. It's going to elevate you. Like it's written in the parasha. Not ani Hashem hamotzi etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim, taking us out of Egypt, but ma'aleh etchem, lifting you up from Egypt. This is the idea. And this is the whole way of life of a Jewish person. To connect to God. To increase the emunah. To understand and realize that there is a good fire and there is a bad fire. And it's in our power to take even the bad fire and turn it to the good fire. If the fire is going to be a fire of love. Not looking for others to blame. Taking the blame on ourselves. And act accordingly. Like Aaron, take the blame on himself. No. I am a part of this community. And as a part of this community, I take the blame on myself and I'll try to fix it. And instead of spread hatred, I'm going to spread love. Love to God, love to people. And how do you do it the best way? When you follow the laws of the Torah that give you the power and elevate you to get to those levels. All the best and have a nice week.